Season 1 of the Sarah Boone Show has been a lot of fun, and I had the idea to put it all together so we have one season. It's a longer video, and then I thought, well, I should really do something to make it more, I don't know, interesting, but a little different. So I'm making comments about it. And the real reason I'm doing that is because I got so angry rewatching it that I have things to say, but I'm going to control myself because there's only so much that we need. So episode 1 and 2 really are together because they're both the interrogation, which, as we always say, never gets old. It's always the same, but it's always different. And I find that lately, it took me a very long time, longer than I wanted to admit to myself, to figure out what the hell was going on there, because the things that she does and the things that she says, they don't make sense on any level. They don't make sense. Like, for example, I'm here because I'm still trying to help him. First time I heard that, I blocked it out. I accepted it and I moved on, because what are you going to do with that? And there was a lot going on there. So it wasn't until a lot later that I was like, what is she even talking about? And I mean, of course, we've turned her interrogation, her emails, all of her things, her letters. We have our own language now, which is very, very funny and very fun. So in the interrogation, I find myself lately more wondering, I've turned inward now. I'm turned on myself, and I'm wondering, what is it about me that made it so impossible for me, why did it take me so long to see things that I see so clearly now, finally? For example, when she starts pretend crying, and she's a trapped rat at that point. She really is. Because she's trying all this stuff. She insisted on going there without an attorney. She was going home. She was going to talk her way out of this, and she has not gotten any smarter since then. She still feels the same way. We saw her on the stand, and we saw her turning down the plea deal. When she's done all of her when she told them already that she had a blind and deaf dog, and a son, and that she's always trying to help George, and she doesn't like to drink, and she can't drink, and she can't get drunk in compos mentis. After that, none of that is working, and they are literally looking at her like, that's when she starts, that's why I got the paint and the puzzle. And then at one point she gets really desperate, and she's like, I really miss him. I tried, and he was trying, just, she's so unlikable, and she's not helping herself at all in any way. I mean, I tried to think of, like, a few of I think there are a few things at play here. For one thing, and this is kind of a strange phenomenon, and I'll be curious if you do the same thing, but I think it's kind of human nature. My tendency is always to want to believe the person being interrogated. I don't know why. I mean, unless I get a really bad feeling about them, it has to be really bad, and they have to have done something to, like, a child or something. I tend to want to not take their side, but I want to believe them. I guess it's just the desire to believe that human beings are generally good, and I think generally they are good. But usually in an interrogation situation, that's not where you're going to find your best human beings, your best specimens, all the time. So there's that. So I start out kind of looking for, kind of trying to relate to her on some level, which clearly thank God, is never going to happen. And the other thing is, I think that after I realized, okay, there's nothing, literally nothing good here, which is rare. Even with the criminals we see, rare. Zero good qualities, nothing good there. No, does not love anyone, does not care about anyone, has no idea how she's coming across. So once I came to terms with that, I think maybe, there was a lot of, I think my rage may have been clouding my faculties a little bit. I don't know. A few takeaways, just quick takeaways. First of all, she's drinking, and she does this. She does it a few times, and I'm going to at some point find them all and put them all together. It's because I've watched her do it the few times she does it, and it's very like she's She also, at one point, she says that, well, did you talk to Vinny? She's asking because he's like, I talk to people who said you're drunk every day. She's like, well, did you talk to Vinny? I know Vinny, in the transcript of the interrogation, they spell it Benny, but Vinny is one of the two neighbors. They both showed up to testify for the state. So that's what Vinny had to say for you, you lunatic. She thought the two people who live right next to her were gonna vouch for the fact that she's can't get drunk and doesn't spend her days and nights wilding out around that townhome complex, making false allegations toward some of the neighbors, and calling 911 all the time for no reason. I don't know how that's the thing, it's her delusion, but there's such a nasty undercurrent there, and that's the one constant there, and when the way that, in this interrogation, the way that she, not just in the interrogation, but the way that she spoke about the Torres family is so disgusting to me, and I know that I'm not alone there, and now, of course, I see more and more clearly as it went how much, Chelsea certainly could not stand her, and Scott couldn't either, but he was still trying to, come to terms with something. But the way she spoke about George's family and the thing she did with Eli, that was her finest trapped rat moment, because that's who she is. She comes in acting like they're working for her. She asks if she can make a call to his co-workers and his probation officer because of the nice lady she is, acting like she's the only decent person in that room because she wants to make those calls and reach out to these people when she doesn't want to anyway. She just wants to know if she's going to be free again. And she pretends, because I don't want to do anything that I'm not supposed to. Really, Sarah? You don't? Who do you think you're talking to here? And so she goes from that to, in another moment of desperation, he's here illegally. And in closing, just to finish this off, episodes 1 and 2, a summary. Kim, not nice. Not a nice person, just automatically not nice.
Which is why, again, I got the puzzles and the paint to try to get him off of it so we don't have a drink. Or he doesn't have a drink. So when you all see my phone, you can see all of the damage he has done to me and the videos of him smashing my television because he's belligerently drunk. Well, most of the time, I just don't want to be there. Painting and all that other stuff. So it's still background noise to him, because I think that's what he's used to, is having background noise. Where me, I can sit in here all day with not a peep. But he always has to have some kind of background noise, which I didn't mind because the trailers were cool, and he was interested in showing them to me. Nobody knew George better than I did. I say that I knew George better than himself. And I tried in every way, shape, and form. Ask everyone. I helped him. I took care of him. I miss him a lot, and I didn't even sleep last night. I miss him a lot.
Is there any chance it got to be too much for you and you couldn't handle taking care of him and
I never stopped. I never stopped. That's what I'm here for. I never stopped. I'm here now because I'm still trying to help him. So it's not like I ever got a break from him, where I told you all yesterday, or whenever it was, I started to feel that it was too much togetherness. And when you have too much togetherness, friction happens. So I'm going to go ride my bike. I'm going to go upstairs and read a book. what does he say? Every waking moment he wants to be with me. So, and mind you, our townhome is either upstairs or downstairs. So it's like, if you would like to sit downstairs and watch a movie or play on the laptop, look up some jobs, you're more than welcome to. I'm just going to be upstairs maybe watching one of my shows or maybe reading a book.
You keep going away from it.
I don't know.
That's exactly what happened. You went up to bed, woke up the next day.
Are you all trying to have me admit that? Like, are you trying to have me admit that? Because I will never admit it because it's not true. It's not true.
I'm basically stating as a fact because that's what happened.
Okay.
You videotaped him asking to be let out. You go upstairs.
So what, guys? So what? Like, just, I don't know what you want me to say other than it was not out of maliciousness or intentional. I don't know what or how I can say it. I love George. Love him. To this day still. Love him.
Love makes you do crazy things.
It's not one of those things where it's like, oh gosh, you know what? I've done enough for you at this point. I never gave up on him.
Okay.
Why I'm here today, I'm still not giving up on him. I would do anything for him.
Well, you gave up checking up on him. So.
I wouldn't let him out of a suitcase.
Oh gosh. Okay.
We're simply just trying to go through. I mean, again, you gave us a completely different story that you churched up to. This was such a lasting matter.
It was fun.
Not by that
all
video.
Day. All
not
day.
By that video. That
all day.
Wasn't. Anybody looking at it doesn't. I don't think anybody looked at that video and go, George is having fun right now.
That you all think that y'all don't know me. You don't know me.
Nope.
Would do something like that, especially having a 9-year-old son.
I don't know.
Like why?
9-year-old son would be.
Like
why are you so like on what we think?
Yeah.
When
because
you should be more
like
concerned about what you've told us.
It's because like you guys are like trying
the things that the video shows that are opposite of what you told us, and then what you've now
like
told
what
us
is opposite?
Well, you said it was funny. You're the only one.
We were playing before that.
Okay.
But then it stops.
Yeah.
It obviously stops being fun.
Well,
because you're screaming at him, he's begging to get out.
Screaming at him.
When
see, that's the thing too. But you can clearly tell. You can clearly tell that I had been drinking some. You can clearly tell.
I've had some people that came up to me in that apartment complex that you were drunk on a daily basis.
Oh my gosh. Right.
Regularly.
Right. Yeah.
Really?
Right. Talk to the property manager. Talk to the property manager.
Okay.
Because it's not.
These are your neighbors, the one that live next to you. Your property manager does not live next to you. They see you every day. How many? You had 2 neighbors you went to and asked to go to the restroom.
See, that is just not fair. No, okay. Kim and Eli. Kim is not a nice person.
Okay.
She's just automatically not nice. Because he comes over and talks to us. The two of them, they're like super standoffish all the time.
We're still going through everything.
Oh, that's fine.
You're the one just telling us there's videos that we need to see on it, so we need
That's
to do
fine.
our due diligence that we go through everything.
See, and that backfires on me now, too. Because now you all think that I had even more, in quotes, intent to do what I did, which was not intentional. In that. Is that correct?
Yes,
No, but I'm asking you if that's correct.
No, I'm not going to agree to anything that you're saying. I'm not, that you're...
So, his probation officer. Do you all inform her or do I need to call her?
Do you think it's interrogation?
No, but it's because of the nice lady that she is and all that she's done for him. I didn't know how it was.
Legally, we just have to tell his parents, and we don't go telling. We don't.
everybody else.
I didn't even know who his probation officer was, so no, I wouldn't go tell.
So the same thing for classes. I need to do that too.
Classes.
The
To do what?
substance abuse class and his batterer's intervention.
Yeah, we
Something
don't
else I
have
was
to
just
call
getting ready to
him.
ask. So, other than this, what was the cause of death?
She is still pending because she wants to.
So, and that couldn't have been because of him being in the suitcase. Or y'all are saying that I physically did it.
That's what she's determining.
So,
The ones on the head, I asked her, could that have been from the suitcase, and she said she didn't think so.
I didn't touch him, nor did he touch me. I'm leaving it at that. So, I don't know if you all know how to do this, because so that's what I was going to get ready to ask you. So, are you all updating his parents today, or when you get final whatevers?
What does it matter? Why? What we tell his parents? What do you mean?
Because
We're gonna talk to them.
okay,
I have to.
but it's going to come down to me.
What do you mean?
Like, so it's being put on me.
Who said that?
But I'm not, so what is it you would tell them?
We're gonna give them an update, just like we gave you an update on their autopsy.
Okay, so it's whatever Bruce said and
Here's the thing.
whatever on the head.
We have a whole lot of conversation that goes on after that. It's not a very easy thing
Was
to
it
do.
yesterday or Sunday? Sunday. Today's Tuesday, right?
Right? Did we not meet yesterday?
Really? Yes, on Monday.
Okay.
Got it.
Perfect.
So, I don't know if I have the right to or not, but like I was going to call his former employees, whom he really cared for, and let them know.
You can call whoever you want.
I just don't want to do something that I'm not supposed to. How do I go about getting his wedding ring, engagement ring?
It'll come to us eventually.
It'll still be released to the next of kin.
Yeah, okay.
I bought it for him.
That is a fair issue. It was on his finger, it goes to them, they're the ones that are going to release it. We don't have any say in that.
So I won't get that back.
Now, what we see with Owens is Sarah at her most chronic, most painfully, most obvious, stupid and delusional. Because she turns this courtroom into her townhome, and she starts acting a fool nonstop, pretending like she's the greatest thing in the world. She argues with her lawyer, she argues with the state's lawyer, she says all the wrong things, and she acts exactly the way you would think that somebody who would torture someone to death would act and how they would be. That's exactly what she does the whole time. I mean, her theatrics are embarrassing. Her stories make no sense. They're not believable, certainly coming out of her mouth, but they also aren't, there's nothing, they don't make any sense. They're not based in any kind of reality because no one's ever smacked Sarah Boone around. And she doesn't fear anyone. I'm not wishing someone smacks her around. I don't. But, I mean, she'd love it, probably. But my point is that she has no idea what it's like to be a victim because although she always thinks she's the victim, she really has no idea. But she has no idea what it's like to be anything. She has no idea what it's like to be a mother. She has no idea what it's like to be a victim. The only thing she knows what it's like to be is a murderer, but she doesn't think so. So there you go. I actually felt sorry for Owens. That's how horrible she is. But I don't know how he thought this was going to go. And I don't know if he's really a true crime fan. But my guess is that he is not. And I think he was trying to ingratiate himself to the true crime community, which is hilarious because we are the nastiest, most cynical group of very nice people you'd ever want to meet. So I think he was barking up the wrong tree there too, especially with Sarah Boone, because nothing was going to turn those tides. Owens. And talk about swimming against the current. That was an impossible feat. She just wouldn't have it. She would not have it. Would not have it. She had to say she was drunk, tired mostly. She had to say that she was incarcerated. She had to say all the things she was not supposed to say, and she did not understand why she was not supposed to say it because she doesn't understand anything.
Down and out. As you can do. Their life centered around alcohol.
RAHBOONE.
All right, thank you very much. Sir, you may inquire. Ms. Boone, would you please tell the jury where you were born and raised?
Atlanta, Georgia.
So you met George Torres before you got the apartment?
Yes.
Okay. And you met him at a bar across the street from the marital home? So you got that apartment. What was the address?
4748 France Court, apartment number 3.
Would it be fair to say that y'all saw each other on and off for about the next 3.5 years?
No. I would consider us a couple.
Okay.
At some point he asked me to marry him.
Okay. But y'all did have times where he left and went to live with his parents.
Yes.
Is that fair?
Yes.
And there were times where there was an understanding that y'all were going to break up.
Multiple times.
Okay. Again, on again, off again.
Yes.
February the 23rd of 2020. Explain to the jury that whole day, from the time y'all got up, the whole thing.
He was already downstairs, and I went downstairs, and he wanted to start the day off by drinking because it was a day off from his job. And I talked him into cleaning and tidying up the house for a sense of accomplishment.
What was the arrangement you had in terms of the next day would have been your day to pick up your son from school?
School until about 3 o'clock.
Okay.
It was just kind of, we've got the day to ourselves. Let's just kind of relax and go with the flow.
All right. Did y'all make a decision that y'all were going to start drinking?
Yes, we had a half of a bottle that was already in the refrigerator, and I did not want to go out afterwards. I, again, the next day, so we went over to Publix to purchase another bottle of wine so we could not have to go out later on that evening.
Now, you were here in court when the state played the video of you two in the Publix purchasing the bottle of wine?
Yes.
Is that what you're referring to here with the jury right now?
Yes.
Okay. And that was around noonish?
I believe so, yes.
Okay. Had y'all started drinking the leftover bottle before going to the Publix?
No.
Okay. So, y'all bought a bottle of wine?
Yes.
All right. And how did y'all get to Publix?
My car.
How far is Publix from your apartment?
5 minutes.
How would you get there from your apartment?
What do you mean?
Did you have to go across any major highways, or is it right there?
You just come out of our apartment complex and you do a little U-turn and then you come up and it's right in that complex.
Okay. But it's easier to drive than to walk?
Yes.
Okay. Now, I know at some times y'all would simply need cigarettes and it was in walking distance. Can you tell the jury about that?
Yes, you could get right into the convenience store from right there.
Okay. But y'all went over to get that bottle of wine around noonish, and how did you took your car?
Yes.
Did George have a vehicle?
I did not.
Okay. And how did you pay for the wine?
With my debit card. We're able to smoke cigarettes outside as opposed to inside. And
Is cigarette smoking not allowed indoors?
it is not.
Okay. Do you have pets?
Yes, I do.
Well, did you have pets?
I did, yes.
Okay. Were they with y'all there that day?
Yes, my dogs were with me all the time when I was there.
How many dogs do you have?
I have 2.
And just what are their names? And what is the breed?
They are red Boston Terriers.
And are they both disabled?
Yes. Blind and Tef is deaf. Tef is deaf.
So when y'all went out to smoke on the back porch and drink, I assume, as well, correct?
Yes.
Did y'all take the dogs out?
Oh, yes.
All right. Is there a place for them to do their business out there?
Yes.
Going to enjoy the day together?
Correct.
Is it fair to say you don't have a lot of money?
Yes.
So during that 2 or 3 hours, would it be fair to say that y'all drank the bottle?
Yes.
Okay. So would it be fair to say that y'all were feeling the effects of the alcohol?
Yes.
Okay. At some point, who made the decision to come in?
I did.
Okay. Why did you want to come in?
I felt that George needed a change of scenery.
At some point, he went to get another bottle at Publix.
Yes. I believe it was after it was right before I believe that we had gone inside. Because he called his daughters. I was trying to encourage him to call his family.
Part of that afternoon is y'all came in to call relatives, call family.
No, I had him call outside. Just trying to, I guess, boost the mood. So, George stabbed me in my leg. I almost bled to death. Nice to cook a nice steak dinner. We don't have too much stuff together, so I thought it would be special to make a steak dinner and make potatoes. Go above the normal whatever's left over in the refrigerator. And so I spent a lot of time doing that, and George is drinking the entire time, and on the back porch. I was drinking. He was on the back porch while I was in the house and I was cooking. And it was one of those where maybe if I start making dinner now, it will be over at a particular time and we can go to bed at a reasonable time. And I even put it in the bedroom and had a movie set up so it would just kind of be dinner in bed. And then he came upstairs and saw that I had made the steak dinner, and I don't know how to describe how drunk he was, but it definitely was not drunk. And had him come lay on the bed, sit on the bed, and put the I got the dogs out, and I presented him with the steak dinner, and sat down and was getting ready to start playing the movie, and he starts being very rude and cursing the steak and finding fault with it, and then I'm having to encourage him to eat. If you cut it up for you, I'll cut it up for you. Did you want some more sour cream for your potato? What can I do to make you happier? And then he started to pull on me and kept saying that, excuse me, that I just want to fuck you on the potatoes. And I took offense to that, and I couldn't take it anymore. I started to crawl off of the bed to leave, just the bedroom. And he told me again that I'm not going anymore. He stabbed me in my leg.
It's just him really drunk and saying nonsense.
I don't know why he was so angry that day. I don't know if it's because I got steak. I don't know. Most of the time I don't know the reason why.
We've all talked about the fact that there were so many things we wanted Mr. J to call Sarah out on that, I always say we would still be there. She would still be on the stand, because there's just, it never ends. There's no end to it. It's just everything she said and done is a lie. So, and he is smart enough and professional enough to know what he's got to do and what he doesn't have to do, and what keeps it simple and what gets the job done, what you did. However, I did try to highlight some of his pettiest moments, and some of his moments that I felt like he couldn't let it go, The notorious thing, that was not necessary, really. That wasn't, there's so many different things you could call her out on. But he had to let everyone know that she smokes in that townhome, even though she's constantly talking about how they can't. And that was very smart of him, actually, because it shows you how she lies about this stupid shit. He had to bring up the notorious. What do you think people would say you're notorious for? I don't know. And also, when he says to her, how you call Mr. Torres notorious, she gives a very quick yes to that. Because I think, and I've noticed she does it a few times with things that she wants to move on from. It's interesting. She's like, yes, let's just move on from this. Let's move it along. And then he, of course, doesn't let it move along, because he's like, well, what would you think? I don't know. And she doesn't.
Half were we talking about to the top of the label was left from the day before?
Oh, goodness, no.
left, halfway through the label?
It's to right about.
Okay, about halfway through the label. I'm just asking you, looking back on this, when he's in the suitcase and you're telling him how you feel, and then you wait 11 minutes and you film another 22 seconds, and then you go upstairs, upon reflection, is that something you would have done and left him in there had you not been drinking?
I don't know. I can't say.
Okay.
If I was scared, then it would be something.
Your testimony was that after that first video was captured by your phone and you, Mr. Torres began getting angry and trying to push his way out, correct?
Say it one more time, please.
Between these two movies, of which there's about 9 minutes and 14 seconds, Mr. Torres begins to get angry and try and push his way out and get out of the suitcase, correct?
He had been angry on and off throughout the entire day.
Okay. You didn't tell us that earlier. You said it was a wonderful, fun day all day, correct?
That's because I lived.
Okay. But you did not tell us earlier today that he had been angry throughout the day.
When would I say that?
You described your entire day of doing puzzles, arts and crafts, and outside by the dartboard, and you said it was a wonderful day and everything was fun until he was in the suitcase. Did you not testify to that earlier today?
I did.
My specific question between these two movies is, this is when he begins to get angry and trying to push his way out and to get out of the suitcase, correct?
Angry again, yes.
He's expressing his anger in what manner? How did he say this?
At which point throughout the day?
Ma'am, you know very well that I'm talking about between these movies. Please answer my question. Between these two movies, how did he express his anger with you?
Told me that I was going to fucking die.
Okay. Now this is happening after he's already told you several times he cannot breathe in the suitcase, correct?
Correct.
And he's been in there for whatever brief amount of time it took you to zip him up, and the laughter stops, and then you go over and begin to film, correct?
Yes.
And you're filming, your purpose of filming is to kind of teach him a lesson. This is your chance to say something to him when he can't say anything back to you, correct?
No.
Then correct me.
There was no lesson to be learned. It was just I wanted him to try to understand how I felt so maybe he could progress in being a better person the next day.
So you wanted him to understand how you felt in the past, and that's not teaching a lesson?
I just wanted him to understand.
You'll take him from doing arts and crafts to doing puzzles, so on and so forth, correct?
When he's been drinking, yes.
And Mr. Torres was notorious for doing some of these things, correct?
What do you mean?
Well, you described Mr. Torres as being notoriously known for doing things. You described your ex-husband, Brian Boone, notorious for doing things like nagging and calling all the time. You remember your testimony calling people notorious for doing things?
Yes.
What would you say people would say you're notorious for?
I don't know.
And you would not answer Brian Boone, your ex-husband's phone calls, just so that you could let him know that you're busy and you have things going on, correct?
I knew that at whatever time it was that he was calling me, that he could wait for the few moments of me getting up to where he was
If you would return his call, you would let him call several times, correct?
that day, yes.
Okay. How about other days? Would he have to call to remind you that?
He wasn't reminding me, he was just making sure that it was covered for pickup. Yes, when he started to gurgle, and I knew that my ex-husband is notorious for bringing my son over in very inopportune times when George is possibly drunk or doing things not appropriate for my son to see. And I just didn't know what to do. It was just a quick knee-jerk reaction. Ryan was kind of my go-to person because of my family being deceased, and I don't have anyone else that I can call. And I just wanted to ensure that he would not bring my son over in the process of all of this.
Patricia Cashman Esquire is an officer and a gentleman, is she not? I mean, I just love her, and I think that she, you know, it was really interesting to me because I always thought, to me, Sarah is such an evil entity. She's so destructive, and she's so malignant that I felt that people who, homicide detectives, criminal lawyers, defense attorneys, they've seen it all. And so I thought, I'm being naive to think that these people are ever thinking about her or care or whatever. But that it wasn't the Richardson hearing. It was the hearing with all of her attorneys who want to get paid. They when they had that hearing and they talked about what they had been through with her. And when you just think about the fact that these are criminal attorneys and have been for years and years, and they had to actually recuse themselves of this client, it shows you that it's not just us. She's not just your run-of-the-mill horrible criminal. She's a special kind of something. And I think that hearing with Cashman also shows how it doesn't matter if you call Sarah out on her bullshit. It doesn't matter if you pin her in a corner and say, what is the lie? Because the things that she says in this are so incredibly stupid. And, she says, well, I, having never been in this situation, didn't know. So I could just read and hear from the other inmates and the staff or whatever she says. The one thing she doesn't do is listen to anything that her lawyer tells her. She admits to not knowing, and then she says she's your classic moron. She's talking to all the people in the jail. First of all, these people in the jail with you, I didn't murder anyone. Of course they get bail, bond. A couple times, I'm sure they've been in and out a few times. That's what happens when you steal cars or credit card fraud or whatever. Not when you lock a man in a suitcase and you let him die after mocking him on video. Sarah. But no, Cashman's the one who's lying. And I don't even know, does Sarah have her brother's address? Because through all the things that we've read with Tanika and all that, I thought, I was under the impression that she didn't have his address. And that's why Cashman had to speak to him to get it. And I'm sure he wanted to talk to her too. And also, that hearing was after the email exchange that we now know about, which was him saying, I like her, I think you should take the plea. And she completely lost her mind, which is so exactly the kind of thing that makes her so infuriating, because she cannot, this is her brother, who she doesn't give a fuck about anyway, because she doesn't care about anyone at all. He's giving her advice, not going to take it, not even going to, just go straight into a tailspin. It's not fair. I know small children who handle things. As a matter of fact, all of the small children I know, there aren't that many of them, it's true, but they all handle things much more maturely than Sarah Boone does, much more. And they're much cuter, obviously. I'm white. I have blue eyes and dirty blonde hair. And I look like an old man. I mean, she really thinks, I really think that she thought she got up there and put everyone in their place. And the Cashman hearing too, probably. But that was really eye-opening. I haven't seen that in a long time. And I mean, they had receipts. They called her. It was like boom, 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 you know. I got her medical records. They had her handwritten notes on them. What is the lie? She couldn't come up with something. And she always says, like, she double talks within the same sentence. And I, having plenty of time, being incarcerated, next sentence, I didn't have the time to do that. I didn't have, once she got that discovery, she really didn't have any time. She was so pressed for time. She couldn't hardly get, less than one I got through of the discovery of the, not couldn't get any of that done because she was so pressed for time. And she needed her privacy. You see, that was another thing. However, when they kindly offered to give her her own cell, she didn't want that either.
And I feel that she is untruthful with me and full blown.
I want you to know, I am full blown. They're gonna come and tell me.
Prejudice against me, which I believe adds to her nasty attitude. So it's a letter and then a continuation of the letter from the video. And constantly blames me that I am the reason why I am supposedly on attorney number 8, but I am not the reason for anything.
Some of the things that she thinks are important from a lawyer perspective, her hips I don't attach the same importance to, and you try to explain that to a client. You know, I know the court's in a difficult position, but at this point we're at that impasse of if she walks out of every conference that I have with her.
Ma'am, you said there was something else that you had other than a 58-page submittal of the letter. What other information is it that you're seeking to have me take a look at?
It's things that I've been working on in the meantime. It's things that she likes to tell me is not necessary, but I know for a fact it is necessary. She likes to, in quotes, put things to rest all the time and constantly tells me I'm not having this conversation with you. So I'm not going to waste my time, and I, being in jail, have supposedly abundant amounts of. She's not going to waste my time because she's not going to explain something to me. And I have taken it upon myself to explain it to her. I told her from day one that her snotty attitude was... I don't know what it is, but I feel that her attitude has equaled prejudice, which is not in my favor, especially considering she's supposedly representing my life.
Okay. Give me an example of, if you could, of items that you believe are important Ms. Cashman is not giving attention to or dismissing as you may have framed it.
Yes, Your Honor. She likes to tell me that I don't like her answers. She's not giving me any answers to this. I've written 3 pages worth of questions that I'm still waiting for her and any other attorney to actually answer for me, such as, why can't I have a bond? Why can't I have a download of my phone? Why can't I speak to my investigator? Why can't I have my medical records?
A copy of some medical records. Based on the discovery I got from the previous attorneys, one of the copies of those medical records had her handwritten notes. So she had a copy given to her previously. She'd reviewed them with previous attorneys and sent her an
constitutional rights. There's 3 pages worth of questions that I have.
What constitutional rights specifically?
I'm very leery about having a fair trial at this point. There are a handful of other amendments that I have been researching trying to incorporate. To me, what I have written to you is obvious, and apparently from the correspondence that I get from the world, South Korea was the last place that I received correspondence. So I don't know what I'm doing wrong other than wanting to have a very successful outcome. It's just been long and drawn out, and I believe that God obviously believes in me as much as I do him. It's a very unique adventure that I am on, and I'm doing my best to let everyone know who I really am as opposed to the malicious murderer that everyone thinks that I am.
Real ransom. Might want to get video for it extra.
I don't feel that she can do that properly. I still always, the reason why I'm here is hope, is to hope that she will come in with a gentle, softer side and actually listen to what it is that I'm saying and see the bigger picture other than what the one avenue that she keeps going down. There's other ways to win and in more than one way. I'm not sure what I'm supposed to do, but I'm not saying that I'm trying to remove her. I'm just trying to ask you, please, forgive me for having to ask you for this. If you could please let her know, please, to just be nice to me.
It's on you.
Attitude and things will probably change, and I will not get up and I walk out. Please don't lie to me. Please don't give me half-truths. And
What instances where there's been falsities or lies that have been told to you by Ms. Cashman? Can you give me an example?
my biggest one, Your Honor, is for me being here ongoing 5 years, no one has ever bothered to try to get me a bond.
What's the lie? You said that she has lied to you. What is the lie?
The process of getting a bond. She lied to my brother in regards to telling him that he would need to come down to the courthouse to have multiple photographs taken for documentation. He would have to bring the security information, the house, financial statements, so forth. And the icing on the cake was to be aware of all of the news camera crews and everyone that's going to be there to document him being there to do what he's going to for the bond. What is a bondsman for? She's supposed to just do the motion for the bond, and then from there, the bondsman and I and whomever else are to work it out.
So what part of that is a lie?
I just simply wanted to have her do a motion for a bond hearing.
But the statement that you said is that Ms. Cashman, who's an officer of the court, has lied to you. And what you've provided me so far is not evidence of any lies based on the severity of the charge.
Electric chair.
I believe, because she's not fully explained it to me other than what she's asked me for that I tried to provide to her, was that I just need to give her an address. And that's what I gave to her, and then it turns into everything else. And then it turns into all these other different stories of why she won't do or why she has said certain things. It always changes and it mutates after I ask her for certain things, not just for the bond, but for other things also.
Okay, well, let's focus on the bond issue, because you said that she's lied to you, and what you've told me so far, none of that is inaccurate.
So how is it though, because I don't have any experience prior to this, so I don't know the process of getting a bond other than what I have read, and it's just for her to do a bond, a motion for a bond hearing. But I didn't know that anyone, all of the other inmates, even officers, have ever said that they've had to do that process in order to have photographs taken and documented and news crews and visit to his house. He's not posting my bond, which I told her 1,000,001 times, but she still spooked him by asking by him thinking that he's going to have to, and it would threaten his security clearance considering he's in the service, the military. So she totally deterred me from having my brother's address in order for me to have a motion for a bond. No one else has even bothered to even ask me for one, and I will be honest with you and the court. Whatever sky high my limit would be for my bond to receive, I know for a fact, unless my fans would set up GoFundMe pages, or God's will, or however else it is He planned for me to have it paid, if at all, my plan is to have a bond. And with the information that I have included in here to you, for the amount of saturation of publicity, there's nowhere that I could go even if I were to be an in quotes flight risk because of the amount of information that everybody already knows about me, what I look like, and what I eat, apparently. There's no way I could do it if I wasn't even think about being a flight risk. It's just the fact that I would like police to have a bond so I can say that I actually achieved something while I was incarcerated.
Okay.
There's other things, there's so many other questions that I have to ask.
Which are outlined in your submittals there, right?
That's right.
Okay, all right. Ms. Cashman, briefly.
Judge, there's clearly a conflict with what I'm going to tell you are false allegations Ms. Boone is making about me and my continued representation of her. As I said, I've spent 20 hours with this client going over her questions and her issues in detail. With regard to the brother and the bond hearing, yes, I contacted her brother. I explained to her brother and I explained to her. You can't just write a bond motion and the judge grants it because of the allegations. You have to come forward with proof. I asked her brother if he was willing to come to court and testify. He raised the issue to me about his security clearance and would the media be there. He never told me he had to provide pictures or a deed to a house. What I said was, the media's been in the courtroom for all the hearings and it's likely that they would be there for the bond hearing, that your face could be on the television, and it was a concern for him. And I'm gonna just leave it at that.
You said that you were not able to intervene regarding my letters. I still want you to be aware of what it is that I am going through, still. And it's a matter of ethics and professionalism. How she should be treating me, I shouldn't have to come up with a pre-penned judge. Also some other things that I've been working on in the meantime that I would like everyone else to be made aware of. That I don't just sit and eat bonbons and watch soap operas all day. I fully apply myself at all times. And do not know what I'm doing.
And I always know what to do and how to do it.
I don't know what I'm doing. I do not know what I'm doing.
Take and collect phone calls from her that are at my expense. JAC doesn't reimburse you because I think it's important for clients to have access. I have spent...
Hang on, please. No one's interrupted you this morning, Ms. Boone.
All right. Season 2 is going to be just as infuriating. Fear not. Thank you for watching. I will see you very soon. Bye.